In this video, we'll be taking a look at two NBA games happening on January 16, 2025, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games, so 4 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these two NBA games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start: if you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Phoenix Suns versus Washington Wizards. Phoenix travels to the nation's capital for a non-conference game against Washington, setting the stage for the first of 2 meetings between these teams this season. In this Suns versus Wizards matchup, Phoenix is coming off a narrow 122-117 road loss to Atlanta, where they failed to cover the 2.5-point spread as favorites. Meanwhile, Washington recently fell to Minnesota at home in a 120-106 defeat, though they managed to cover the spread as significant 14.5-point underdogs. The Phoenix Suns have been in fairly solid form recently, winning 4 of their last 6 games overall. However, their momentum was disrupted on Tuesday when their 3-game winning streak came to an end with a loss to the Hawks. In that game, the Suns shot an impressive 51% from the field and made 13 of 35 attempts from beyond the arc. Despite rallying back from a 12-point deficit to briefly take the lead in the third quarter, the Suns allowed the Hawks to go on a decisive 16-8 run late in the fourth quarter, ultimately sealing the loss. Phoenix previously secured a win over the Hornets, suffered the defeat to Atlanta, and is set to face the Pistons, Cavaliers, and Nets in their upcoming schedule. On the other hand, the Washington Wizards are in the midst of a significant slump, having lost 11 of their last 13 games overall. They are desperately seeking to end their current 7-game losing streak, which continued on Monday with a lopsided 120-106 defeat against the Timberwolves. In that game, the Wizards shot 44% from the field and connected on 17 of their 43-point attempts. While they showed resilience to stay within striking distance for much of the contest, a disastrous fourth quarter in which they allowed 38 points ultimately put the game out of reach. Washington recently lost to both the Thunder and Timberwolves, and they face tough matchups ahead against the Warriors, Kings, and Lakers. Both teams are dealing with injuries that could impact this game. Phoenix will once again be without Jusuf Nurkic and Bradley Beal, while Washington is missing Marvin Bagley and Malcolm Brogdon. For Suns bettors, this season has been frustrating, as the team has the worst record against the spread in the league at 13-25-1. Oddsmakers often inflate Phoenix's lines, knowing that star players Kevin Durant and Devin Booker attract public betting. The same principle applies here. Washington, the league's worst team, is expected to get more points than they likely should, giving them a strong chance to cover the spread. Despite Phoenix's talented roster, they have struggled to find an effective lineup, with ongoing tweaks such as bringing Beal and Grayson Allen off the bench. Meanwhile, Washington's young roster, led by rookie standout Alexander Starr, continues to play with energy as they focus on development for the future. Starr's versatility and ability to defend multiple positions have been a bright spot in an otherwise challenging season, so the Washington Wizards to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. Defensively, Washington has been abysmal, ranking dead last in efficiency and allowing 117 points per 100 possessions. They also rank last in raw points allowed per game, giving up an average of 123 points. Phoenix, by contrast, is solid offensively, ranking 9th in efficiency with 113 points scored per 100 possessions. This suggests that the Suns should have little trouble putting up points, potentially scoring into the mid-120s. However, Phoenix's defense has its own shortcomings, ranking 24th in efficiency by allowing 113.5 points per 100 possessions. While Washington's offense isn't stellar, they do have capable scorers like Jordan Poole, who is shooting 40.4% from 3-point range. With both teams' weaknesses in play, there's potential for a high-scoring game where the Wizards contribute enough to push the total past the projected mark. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. Indiana Pacers versus Detroit Pistons. It's time for an exciting Central Division showdown in the NBA on Thursday night, and we're here to provide you with detailed predictions for the matchup between the Indiana Pacers and the Detroit Pistons. Indiana enters this game with a 22-19 straight-up record and a 20-20-1 mark against the spread. However, the Pacers faced disappointment on Tuesday, falling to the Cleveland Cavaliers at home with a final score of 127-117 as -8 underdogs. On the other hand, Detroit boasts a 21-19 straight-up record and a 21-18-1 against the spread record after an impressive 124-119 road victory over the New York Knicks on Monday, where they were +8 underdogs. The Indiana Pacers have been on an impressive run, winning 12 of their last 16 games overall, showcasing their strong form. However, their momentum was halted in their most recent outing, a 127-117 loss to the red-hot Cleveland Cavaliers, snapping a 6-game win streak. In that game, Indiana shot 48% from the field and made 12 of 28 attempts from beyond the arc. While the Pacers managed to keep the game close during the first half, they faltered in the third quarter, allowing the Cavaliers to score 38 points and falling behind by as many as 15 points. This defeat leaves Indiana eager to bounce back as they face a tough stretch of games, including matchups against the 76ers, Spurs, and Pistons after recently splitting a pair with Cleveland and securing a win over the Warriors. Meanwhile, the Detroit Pistons have been in an impressive rhythm of their own, emerging victorious in 10 of their last 12 games. They'll be aiming for a third consecutive win after a hard-fought 124-119 victory over the New York Knicks on the road Monday. As a team, Detroit showcased efficiency, shooting 50% from the field and converting 15 of their 34 three-point attempts. Despite squandering an early 11-point lead and trailing at halftime, the Pistons regrouped in the third quarter, scoring 36 points to reclaim the lead and secure a gritty road win. With recent victories over the Raptors and Knicks, the Pistons are gearing up for a challenging stretch ahead, facing the Suns, Rockets, and Hawks in their upcoming games. In terms of player availability, the Pacers are monitoring the status of Aaron Nesmith and Tyrese Halliburton, both of whom are listed as questionable for this game. For the Pistons, Jaden Ivey remains sidelined due to injury. Remarkably, both teams have become two of the hottest squads in the league, which might have seemed improbable just a couple of months ago. It's no surprise to see a tight betting line for what promises to be a highly competitive game. The Pacers are performing at a high level but face the challenge of injuries that could significantly impact their chances. Halliburton and Nesmith's statuses are critical for bettors to consider, as the Pacers' chances diminish if both are unavailable. On the flip side, the Pistons have been surging, led by a defense that excels at forcing turnovers, making them a tough and relentless opponent. Over their last 10 games, Detroit has won 8 and covered the spread in 5 of the past 8 contests. Notably, they defeated the Pacers by 24 points in November and are an even better team now. While arguments could be made for either team, the uncertainty surrounding Indiana's injuries tilts the scales toward Detroit. The Pistons, fueled by a potential standout performance from Cade Cunningham, have the edge at home. The line appears favorable, especially if the Pacers remain shorthanded. So the Detroit Pistons to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Regarding the total points, recent trends favor the under. Indiana has seen the under hit in 4 of its last 5 games, while the under has also prevailed in 3 of the last 4 meetings between these two teams. Detroit's slower tempo, ranked 19th in the league, will likely set the tone for this matchup. Although neither team is particularly dominant defensively, their familiarity with each other and recent solid form suggest a closely contested game. Scoring is expected to slow down in the second half as both teams work the shot clock to create optimal scoring opportunities. Indiana ranks 19th and Detroit 21st in terms of average defensive possession length, which reflects their ability to force opponents into deliberate, drawn-out possessions. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.